10 signs you're severely depressed. Depression is classified as a mood disorder caused by persistent sorrow and loss of interest in daily activities. It may affect how you feel, think, and behave. Clinical depression, at its worst, makes some people feel as if life isn't worth living. People experience depression in a variety of ways. It may disrupt your daily work, resulting in lost time and decreased production. It can also affect relationships and some chronic health issues. Major life events, such as bereavement or job loss, can set off depression. However, depression is different from the negative feelings that a person may have temporarily in reaction to a traumatic life event. Depression often continues despite a change in circumstances, causing intense, persistent, and out-of-proportion feelings. Depression is an ongoing issue, not a temporary one. Though there are different forms of depression, major depressive disorder is the most frequent. It is made up of episodes in which the symptoms last at least 2 weeks. Depression can last for weeks, months, or even years. For many individuals, it is a chronic condition that gets better and then relapses. Sometimes what you believe are depression symptoms aren't actually depression symptoms. Substance use disorders, medical issues, prescription medication side effects, and other mental health conditions can all cause symptoms that resemble depression. While only a trained healthcare provider can diagnose depression, there are several warning signs that can help you determine whether you or someone you care about is depressed. Loss of interest in activities and low mood are the 2 core depression symptoms. People may also notice changes in appetite, difficulty sleeping, tiredness, feelings of guilt, difficulty focusing, or thoughts of death. Depression symptoms might vary from person to person. So, although one individual may struggle to get out of bed, someone else may be able to go to work every day without coworkers noticing anything out of the ordinary. 1. Depressed mood. Both major depression and persistent depressive disorder can be characterized by a depressed mood. A person suffering from major depression is depressed for most of the day. Children and teenagers, on the other hand, may look irritated rather than depressed. 2. Decreased interest. The second key symptom of major depressive illness is a loss of interest or pleasure in once enjoyed activities, often known as anhedonia. Anhedonia symptoms can be classified into 2 categories. Physical anhedonia makes it difficult to enjoy sensory pleasures. For example, food you used to like suddenly taste insipid. Sex may no longer be enjoyable to you, or you may lose interest in it. People who suffer from social anhedonia find it difficult to enjoy social interactions. For example, someone who used to like getting together with their friends for breakfast is now uninterested in attending these gatherings or answering phone calls. 3. Changes in appetite. A change in your eating habits is another sign of depression. Some people experience a decrease in appetite as a result of this. You may have to force yourself to eat since eating has lost its appeal. Or perhaps you lack the energy to make meals. Conversely, sadness or feelings of worthlessness can contribute to overeating. Food is commonly used as a coping tool in these situations. You may discover that food improves your mood temporarily, but once the joy of eating is worn off, you go for more food to hide your depressive feelings. One study monitored thousands of men and women for 11 years. Those who reported feelings of depression and anxiety during that period had larger weight changes and were more prone to be categorized as obese than those who didn't. 4. Sleep disturbances. Sleep disruption is seen in up to 90% of depressed adults. It can manifest as either difficulty sleeping, insomnia, or excessive sleeping, hypersomnia. The most common is insomnia, which affects 80% of patients with depression. People suffering from insomnia may have difficulty falling or staying asleep. In approximately 15% to 25% of cases, people with depression sleep excessively less often. Younger people are more prone to experience this symptom. Sleep problems may be both a symptom and cause of depression. Thus, improving your sleeping ability is vital for helping you feel better and lowering your chances of a future depression relapse. 5. Fatigue. Chronic fatigue can be a sign of both persistent depressive disorder and major depressive disorder. This loss of energy, which might result in excessive fatigue most of the time, can impair your ability to function normally. You may not feel well enough to care for your children or perform housework. Maybe your exhaustion is severe enough that you need to call in sick often at work because you can't get out of bed. The fatigue that accompanies clinical depression can be overwhelming at times. 6. Feelings of guilt and worthlessness. Depression can have a detrimental impact on everything, including how you perceive yourself. You may have negative and unrealistic thoughts about yourself, such as feeling worthless. You may have difficulty letting go of past mistakes, which may result in feelings of guilt. You may become fixated on these failures, personalize trivial events, or believe that minor mistakes demonstrate your inadequacies. An example of guilt and worthlessness would be a relationship that ended because you had a dispute with your spouse and said some unflattering things. This might lead you to blame yourself for the breakup while neglecting other problems in your relationship, such as a partner who is a poor communicator or abusive. 7. Difficulty concentrating. Depression causes trouble concentrating and making decisions. People suffering from depression may recognize this in themselves, or those around them may notice that they are having difficulty thinking clearly. This effect has been observed particularly in older adults. They may notice that they are having difficulty processing thoughts quickly and ascribe their symptoms to cognitive impairment. 8. Recurrent thoughts of death. Major depressive disorder is accompanied by recurring thoughts of death that go above the fear of dying. A person suffering from major depression may consider suicide attempt, or devise a particular plan to kill oneself. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 9 million adult Americans have suicidal thoughts each year. People who reported experiencing these thoughts the most were between 18 and 25 years old. 9. Unexplained pain. Depression affects more than just a person's mental health. It can also be harmful to a person's physical health. For example, physical symptoms such as unexplained aches and pains are common warning signs of depression. According to a recent study on depression symptoms, 69% of those who fulfill the criteria for a depression diagnosis initially go to their doctor for unexplained aches and pains. Other common symptoms include joint pain, bloating, and backaches. 10. Alcohol and drug use. Those who suffer from mood disorders may turn to alcohol or drugs to cope with negative emotions, such as sadness, loneliness, or hopelessness. According to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, ADAA, about 1 in every 5 people in the United States who have anxiety or a serious mood disorder, such as depression, also have an alcohol or substance use disorder. The same proportion of people with a drug or alcohol use disorder also have a mood disorder. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.